Do you live ECU?
R.
Do you bleed purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
Welcome in. It is Hoist the Colors, and it is a great day to welcome in a new crop of East Carolina football Pirates. It is signing day, National Signing Day. And ECU has already welcomed in a bevy of prospects from the 2026 recruiting class. We'll tell you the latest on that. This will be our signing day special. So we'll have the full hour ahead, mostly recruiting coverage. We may get into some hoops as well. ECU winning on the hardwood last night over Maryland Eastern Shore. Much needed bounce back win for Mike Schwartz's team. We will also get into potentially some of the latest on the bowl and the coaching carousel, all that sort of stuff if needed. But today we'll mainly focus on signing day. We cover it year-round on hoistthecolors.net. We get to today, and I'll be honest, it's kind of snuck up on me as somebody who covers it. I know it snuck up even on the coaches. You prepare for it. The calendar has changed this year. We'll get into that, but they moved signing day up a few weeks compared to past years, and so we're getting this done a little bit earlier than normal. But the good news is it gives us the rest of December to focus on other areas as well. So for today's show, we are scheduled to talk to three of the Pirates signees, and we'll try to get them on the show. Preston Broadway, offensive lineman from Metrolina Christian Academy. LJ Porter from Huff High School in the Charlotte area. Listed as an athlete. Could play linebacker, could play all over the secondary. We'll get into that with LJ. And then Josh Battle, offensive tackle from Woodward Academy in Atlanta, same high school that Mike Wright attended once upon a time. So we'll try to get those guys on the show as long as their schedule allows. Obviously, they got a lot going on today with signing day. We usually talk to Kevin Monroe on Wednesdays. Obviously, his son, Marcus Monroe, signing with Stanford today. We're scheduled to cut it with him tomorrow. So looking forward to recapping that with Kevin. Philip Hilkinen, he's producing today. Philip, I know it's tough to follow recruiting these days. It's tough for me, like with all the movement, and it feels a little less important because, A, not a ton of these guys play right away after they get here, but B, how many of them are actually going to be here in 2 or 3 years? But still, like it's at the end of the day, high school recruiting is the foundation of your program. And if you don't recruit high school well, then you're at that much risk of having trouble long-term sustaining success, especially at a school like East Carolina. So today's still a big day.
It is. Excuse me, because even if a lot of these young men say they don't go on to put on a Pirate uniform and play meaningful snaps, when you look at recruiting classes at your program compared to others, it shows you the state of your program, right? And it shows you the kind of young men that you attract. And if you've got a better recruiting class than a lot of the teams in your peers, I should say, maybe not just in your conference, but we're going to say your peers, that lays the foundation for I am tongue-tied today, I'm sorry, for future success. I don't know how I got super out of future. Future success. If you have good recruiting classes, it's going to make the coaches look better. Therefore, it's going to make you a better destination for the portal. Yes, ideally, you do want to build from your recruiting class. You would love to bring in a young man and him to be here for 5 years. But at the end of the day, that is not realistic, but it does lay the foundation, and it shows you where your program is at. And I think right now, this recruiting class right here shows that East Carolina, this is back-to-back years where we've had really, really solid recruiting classes, is in a really good spot.
All right, a couple things here I'll say. If you're just tuning in and you're like, a lot of people, I get it. They don't follow recruiting year-round. They just show up on signing day and want to know kind of who's joining the program, all that sort of stuff, and that's completely understandable. So some cliff notes, I would say. ECU to this point has signed 16 players to letters of intent. One of those players is a transfer. That is a junior college player, Bryson Esser. So off the bat, let me just say this. If you're looking at potential impact for next year, and I'll kind of give my thoughts on that, some of these guys who could play next year, the guy that's most likely, obviously, is your JUCO transfer. You're recruiting those guys to come in and provide immediate depth. Now, Bryson Esser from Garden City, 3-star offensive lineman, 6'8", 295. Had offers from a lot of Group of 5 schools: Arkansas State, Charlotte, FAU, Fresno State, North Texas, Texas State, Southern Miss, Western Michigan. So a pretty solid JUCO offer list. He will sign. He will be here in January. So I would expect him to compete for some time, some depth at offensive tackle, ranked right around 20th best offensive tackle at the JUCO level. Now, the other 15 signees are high school players. So again, we kind of going back to our conversation we just had, more of the guys you're putting in the pipeline to develop, to grow over time. We've seen homegrown players make impact. I mean, you look at this past year, obviously Jamali Riddle, when he was a freshman, made impact, but second year in the program made an even bigger impact. We've seen Yannick Smith. We've seen several of the offensive linemen, like Emmanuel Poku, Jamarion McCrimmon, several of those guys who were recruited here, developed, and have become players. And then obviously you've got some players all over the defense in that mold as well. So 15 high school players. And really this class, I would say, for me personally, I like the defensive class a lot, specifically the linebackers. I think this is the best group of stand-up linebackers ECU has recruited since I started covering the team. I give a lot of that credit to Josh Aldridge. East Carolina landed Lovejoy High School product Chad Fairchild out of Georgia. Had a ton of offers. At one point, like he was heading to NC State. ECU ended up getting him 6'1", 235, kind of a traditional Mike linebacker, downhill guy. And then you got 2 athletic linebackers. Jeremiah Rue out of Mundy's Mill, also in Georgia. 6'3", 215, more of an all-around athlete. Probably projects as a will linebacker or a nickel, a guy who can play in space a little bit better. LJ Porter, who we're going to talk to here around 12:30. 3-star at a Huff High School in the Charlotte area, powerhouse program, transferred there this past year. 6 foot 215, not as big as Chad or Jeremiah, but again, outstanding athlete. He even has some film playing cornerback. There's not too many linebackers playing man coverage at corner, so I like those 3 guys a lot. Defensive line wise, they added 2 edge rushers and Zion Ratchford out of Gaffney High School, and also Teron Spencer out of Richmond County High School, same program as J.D. Lampley. Spencer's your highest rated prospect in the class, 88 overall, 6'3", 235. And then Zion out of Gaffney is 6'3", 215. Kind of reminds me of Sam Danka, although not quite as long and probably a little bit more explosive, quick twitch athlete. He plays a lot of stand-up inside linebacker for Gaffney. He'll transition to outside linebacker in ECU scheme. So he's a guy who needs some time to develop, but I like the fact that ECU's adding length. And then the other big area that ECU addressed in this class, the offensive line. Well, I mentioned Esser earlier. He's your 1 JUCO lineman. You also signed 4 high school offensive linemen. We'll talk to Preston Broadway here in a minute out of Metrolina Christian. He projects as an interior prospect, along with Xavier Massey out of South Sumter High School in Florida. And then you added 2 offensive tackle prospects in Josh Battle, who we're also scheduled to speak with out of Woodward Academy, and then Javon Hargett out of Southern Durham in North Carolina. So really good class for those standpoints in general, I feel like. And I don't know, Philip, for me, I'm taking as many offensive linemen as possible every class. Not all of them are going to work out, but for every guy you miss on, you probably run into a Jamarion McCrimmon or a Kojo Poku. And, it just takes time for these guys to develop. So I like the fact that they're attacking this in numbers right now.
Stephen, there are 2 areas of football where you do not have an excess amount of players, other than quarterback, obviously. Offensive line and defensive players who can play as fast as the guy they are lining up to cover. If you can address those 2 places, you will be successful, especially in the portal era. Because if you're good at those places, you're going to have a good enough football team, and then some receiver is going to be okay coming here. At the end of the day, we talk about this, Stephen, with quarterbacks, and they go to the NFL. Hey, they're not as fast or they were faster than the D linemen in college, and now the D linemen are their same speed. We talk about with the receivers, they were faster than the defensive backs. The tight ends, they were faster than the linebackers, and now those guys are their speed. And then you could bring up the offensive line point. Yeah, most offensive linemen do not hit. It is hard to become an offensive lineman and be successful at any level. Most of the kids that play in high school that actually start, you have a lot more guys starting as sophomores on the offensive line than you do a lot of other positions. Why? Because either you're good enough or you're not. And that happens in college, and that happens in the NFL. That's why it's so hard to build a great offensive line in the NFL. I would rather us have 15 offensive linemen come in than 2 offensive linemen come in. I think this is a 5-man class. We've seen it before. We saw it in the Coach Shank days. They bring in 4, 5, 6 offensive linemen. Like you said, you might hit on 1, you might hit on 2, but that's enough. If you can hit on 2 to 3 every year, you're in a really good spot. But if you only take 2 to 3 every year, you're going to be lucky to hit on 1.
Yeah, look at a guy like Bryce Weaver, who was really not that highly recruited. I think ECU was his only offer out of D.H. Conley. Came into the program, developed 2 years, had to learn some things the hard way. But you look up as a redshirt sophomore now, and he's one of your starting right tackles. And, the same thing happened with McCrimmon. I give former offensive line coach Alan Mogridge credit for him. He was a very, very late, under-the-radar addition out of Florida. And, again, as a redshirt sophomore, is a first-team all-conference tackle. So I don't even think he was rated by 24/7 Sports. So I know a lot of people get caught up in the ratings, all that. It really, at a school like ECU, man, it's more about progression, development, mindset. I've always said that. I'll always say that. All right. Somebody wanted to know, Kenny Curlin says, any quarterbacks, any running backs? No running back signee, Kenny. I would expect ECU to sign a running back either in the January period. Let's remember, you also have the February signing period. So January will be visit season for both transfers and any potential high school JUCO prospects that fell through the ranks. So I would expect ECU to add a running back at that time. No running backs now. Quarterback-wise, they did sign a quarterback in this class from Spartanburg High School in South Carolina, 6'3", 205, Trey Burke. Now, this is a guy who I've talked to some people in the industry who absolutely love him, and I've had some people tell me they don't see it, but I know that ECU, specifically John David Baker, 100% believes in Trey Burke. They scouted him heavily in person. Late blooming quarterback prospect, didn't put up great statistics, but really solid athlete, really good size. Ball comes off his hand hard. Definitely a developmental quarterback, I think. But I know when ECU committed him, they were worried he would be a guy that would pop up on Power 4 radars late after his senior season. That apparently did not happen. We'll see. Again, recruiting in exact science. It kind of reminds me of Chasten Ditta, late blooming quarterback prospect. Not a lot of people are on. ECU got on him, they signed him, and he's obviously turned out to be a pretty good quarterback prospect, at least early in the process. So we will see what happens with the quarterback, Trey Burke. Some other comments here. Pirate fan 52092 says National Signing Day is big for depth purposes this day and age. And I would say, yeah, a lot of the second and third string guys for ECU this season, especially on defense, were homegrown products, and those guys will continue to move up the ladder, step into bigger roles next year. We also say Jansen Kidd wants to know what's the tight end landscape looking like. So ECU did not take a tight end in this class. I think if they would have taken Marcus Monroe. I still feel like they should have, but that's a whole nother story. And he may have ended up going to Stanford or somewhere else anyways. But either way, they signed 3 last year. They signed 3, Cayman Riddle, Stephen Collier, and also a kid out of Apex, Caleb Morrow. All those guys are redshirted. They all have good size, and I would expect 1 or 2 of them to play next year. And then we'll see what happens with the Serio. We'll see what happens with Javante Connor. But they have 5 scholarship tight ends right now projected for next year. So that's kind of what the tight end landscape looks like on paper right now. Jay says Zion Ratchford from Gaffney is the grandson of Clemson football's Warren Ratchford. Good length. Yeah, really good pipeline there at Gaffney. Really good program. ECU also signed Kelton Smith out of that program. 6'4", 310 pounds, defensive tackle. Even if he can't move, which he's got some work to do with the technique, he is a big, big boy. Played 8-man football last year as a junior. ECU committed him over the summer. This was his first fall playing full 11-man football. So he's got some work to do, but huge upside there with Kelton Smith out of Gaffney. So really excited about both those programs. Lance Ware, new director of recruiting, really good ties to Gaffney High School, helped ECU pull those 2 prospects. All right, let's get a break in. We'll continue to run through your comments, your questions, this class, but we are going to talk to a few of the commits as well. So we'll get a break in. We'll catch up with Preston Broadway, offensive line commit out of Metro Christian Academy. We'll get his thoughts on signing with the Pirates officially after this.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive. Call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arg!
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Climb aboard as we set sail and hoist the colors. Ahar, matey! Back to the show with Steve and I go on 94.3 The Game.
Hoist the Colors is our signing day special. We're going to catch up with a few of the ECU commits in the 2026 class, also break down the class as a whole, so keep your comments coming on social media. Right now, we're going to go out to the live line, catch up with 3-star offensive line commit. He is Preston Broadway, one of the guys I've enjoyed talking to the most during this recruiting class and the process of building it. Preston, first off, congrats, man. Welcome officially. How does it feel to officially be a Pirate?
It's really kind of surreal. I woke up this morning, and Coach sent me the paper, and I was sitting there with my mom, and I was like, wow, is this actually happening? And she's like, it's actually happening. And me and my family, I signed the paper, and it just feels overall great. It's great.
Preston Broadway, we'll go through your recruitment here in a minute and just kind of what led you to ECU, all that. We talked about it, but I know our new audience here, they'll be interested to learn about it. But what are you and your family, what are y'all going to do celebration-wise to kind of celebrate the big day? Did you already have a ceremony or have one planned for at the school and all that stuff?
Yes, sir. So the ceremony is going to be after school. So all my buddies and the football team and people from school are going to be there. And then we'll probably have a little celebration dinner later after that. Just me, my mom, and my brother, and just kind of throw a little party.
Big day for signees everywhere, including Preston Broadway from Metrolina Christian Academy in North Carolina. All right, Preston, I want to take you all the way back to June of 2024 when ECU first gave you an offer. I believe that was after a camp workout, right? So take me back to that day. What did that mean to you at the time?
Yep. So at the time, I was trying to get started in my recruiting. I was going to all like the local camps, and I was getting like a lot of good feedback from all the local coaches. I was getting numbers, information, just like building relationships. And I hadn't really talked to anybody at ECU. I really hadn't. We had, I think, Coach Tess was the area recruiter at the time. He came to the school. Like we chatted, but I mean, I hadn't chatted with Coach Maddox really at all. And that morning, Coach Maddox followed me on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he knows who I am. He probably watched my film." And anyway, I showed up, and I performed really well. And I was like, "Okay, wow, that was a good camp for me." And then after, we had a long talk with Coach Maddox, and he was just like, "Oh, and by the way, we're going to offer you a scholarship." And I was like, "What?" Because that was like my first scholarship offer, and I was not expecting it. And I mean, it brought me, so many mixed emotions, like all the hard work and all like the stuff leading up to that. I mean, me and my mom were just me and my family really were just so excited. Like there was no way this just happened, and it was really just a all around great camp. So.
And then obviously your recruitment continues on, and ECU continues to recruit you over the next year. That's a full year. You come back on your official visit. I remember you visiting in the spring as well, and obviously you commit to ECU after then. So I don't know, take me through that day as well. Did you kind of know it was probably going to be ECU the whole time, or when did you really know for sure it was the Pirates?
Well, I came down to about two schools. It was between ECU or JMU, and I was planning on, me and the JMU coach had talked about, me camping with them and then possibly going on an official visit that weekend. So it was kind of quick paced, and I hadn't really, made a relationship with the coach at JMU. So Coach Max and me, we always had like a very strong relationship, and he was the first one to, take a chance on me. So when he reached out for the official visit, me and my family were definitely leaning towards ECU, and then we went, and it was just a great visit. We made just relationships with the whole offensive staff, and Coach Harrell. It was my first time meeting him. I actually met him at the visit in the spring, but it was like to really get to build like a really strong relationship and get to know the culture on the OV really helped me just narrow it down and make my decision.
Visiting Preston Broadway from Metrolina Christian Academy. 3-star commit signs today with ECU, part of the 2026 class. Preston, how about that relationship with Coach Maddox? Obviously, offensive line coach, and how does he kind of see you fitting in along their offensive line? What does he like? What does he kind of see you, working to improve on, that sort of stuff as you make the leap to college?
Yep. So we've talked about where I kind of fit in the program, and he's used the word interior, which most likely probably means center or guard, that's great. Like that's probably where I'm going to play. That's where it's most natural. But I'll play whatever Coach Maddox needs me to do to win. I'm versatile. I believe I could play tackle if that's what he needs me to do. I feel like I'm long enough to do that. If that's what he needs me to do, I'll play there. But I'm just like whatever. As of right now, we've talked about interior, and that's awesome. I'm just ready to get out there and start training.
Some people that follow recruiting, they probably know that Peyton Reeder signed here as a prospect in a few classes before from Metrolina as well. How well do you know Peyton, and what's kind of y'all's relationship like? And it will be pretty cool to reunite with him.
Oh yeah, so Peyton's like my best friend. So funny story about me and him. Back in about, I think like I met him in 9th grade. I came in, I was a D lineman then, so I didn't play O line yet. He was like big man on campus, O lineman, and we didn't like each other very much. At practice, me and him, we'd go at it. We would yell at each other, and it was just all competitive. But then one day, I think it was App State, we both went on a visit at the same time, and we kind of side-eyed each other. But then we started talking, and we couldn't stop. We've been best friends ever since. And then he definitely made a big impact when I switched over to O-line my sophomore year on how I just grew as an offense from there. Like I learned a lot from him, and just overall he kind of just he showed me where to go train. He showed me just everything from how to pass set to how to dominate somebody off the line. At Peyton he really was a big impact on my offensive line recruitment because he just kind of showed me the ropes.
Preston Broadway with us. We're visiting, recapping his signing day recruitment. All right, Preston, so you guys have 5 offensive linemen signed in this class today. I know one of those guys from junior college, but the other 4 guys, high school players like yourself. Kind of what's the bond like? Have you been able to connect with those guys, whether it be the group chat or anything like that, and just the class as a whole? Like, how do you guys stay in contact?
Yeah, so we have a group chat. I haven't really gotten to know some of them, but on my official visit, Vaughn was on my official visit, and then I believe Josh Battle was also on my official visit. So I've gotten to know them pretty well, and I got to know them well on the visit. But then the new guy, Xavier, I met him. I went up to the game day visit, my last game day visit. He was on his OV, and he came up to me, and before he committed, we chatted it up, and we got along pretty well. And then, like, the next day or two, he committed, and we just talked. I was like, hey, man, congrats. Like, that's awesome. And, yeah, that was really cool to hear he committed because we talked quite a bit. But, yeah, definitely, like, we always, like, repost each other's stuff and comment on each other's stuff. And just I've made a pretty good relationship, I'd say, with those guys.
All right, last thing for you, Preston Broadway, who will be officially joining the program next offseason. And I know you got some things to work on before then, before you get here. But when you look at ECU on the field this year, obviously most of you guys, including yourself, committed there in the summer. Like how I don't know, rewarding was it to watch kind of Coach Harrell, this staff, have so much success on the field this year? And I know you visited for several game days. So, like, being a part of that, seeing the program on the rise, like, how much did that mean to you?
I mean, it was awesome. You know, it's awesome to be like, you're walking around school and kids come up to you, oh, did you see ECU wins last night? I'm like, yeah, man, it was awesome. Like, especially that Memphis game. It was so close. It was so fun to watch. And it was just like, to see that success is just like, it makes you feel proud to be a Pirate.
He is Preston Broadway. Preston, we'll let you get back to it, man. I know you got a busy day, and really appreciate the time on an important day for you and your family, man. Congrats again, and looking forward to covering you when you get here.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. That is Preston Broadway, 2026 offensive line commit for the Pirates. And, again, one of the favorite guys I enjoyed talking to, texting during this process, and he joins us on the show today. So appreciate Preston for the time. We'll get a break in. We are scheduled to be joined by ECU defensive commit LJ Porter from Huff High School. We'll catch up with LJ, who's one of the more versatile prospects in this class, talk about all the positions he can play, and more after this. This is Hoist the Colors on a signing day special.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown. At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Radio with Steve and Igo. 194.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. This is Hoist the Colors on a signing day special edition of the program. We just talked to Preston Broadway, ECU line commit. Let's get to our next commit on the day. He is LJ Porter from Huff High School in the Charlotte area. LJ about to play for a state title. We'll get into that and more, but also just signed his letter of intent. LJ, how does it feel to officially be a Pirate, man?
Man, it feels amazing. The jitters are real. Butterfly signing the paper this morning, 7 o'clock, woke up. It was already there for me. So I was just, it was just reality. Your dream coming to reality.
No doubt. It's a big day for you and many other players signing. And let's go through your recruitment. You know, me and you have been talking kind of throughout the process about you committing to ECU. For the fans who don't know, had a lot of big offers, a lot of opportunities. Obviously, you officially visited in the summer. What was it about the Pirates that made them the right fit for you?
I feel like whenever I got up there, it was the love, right? It was the love. On my official visit, I was hosted by Day, number 10, senior backer, and I mean he showed me around, he showed me the ropes, what goes around, and then Coach Aldridge and Coach Harrell and the whole recruiting staff, they really just made me feel at home. Like it was no discomfort at all, no awkwardness. Everything was just flowing, and I was like, that's something that that's where I want to be at. And then also knowing Coach Aldridge, man, being a great linebacker coach, and that's what they were recruiting me as. So I was just like, that's a great opportunity for me.
LJ Porter with us from Huff High School. And LJ, talk about your relationship, if you will, with Coach Harrell. Just obviously the head coach, his first year, full-time head coach. The Pirates go 8-4, and I don't know. I've just always found him so approachable, easy to talk to, even as a head coach. Like, do you kind of get that same vibe as well?
Oh yeah, 100%. Coach Harrell actually, funny story. Well, Coach Harrell is a defensive mindset guy. Like he loves defense, so I send him a clip here and there of me making a tackle. He'll be going crazy. He'll show up to the games, big time games. He'll be there supporting me. I mean, that's just showing me love at all times. I transferred to Huff this my senior season, but before that, I was at a school called Charlotte Christian, and Coach Harrell was a good friend with one of the guys there. So I mean, he knows me and my character very well, and what I'm about. So
LJ Porter with us from Huff High School. And LJ, I mean, look, we talked about it before, but watching your film, I know ECU recruiting you as a linebacker, but like you're out there playing some corner at times, obviously some nickel as well. So what has Coach Aldridge told you about, the versatility and how you would fit in their defense?
I feel like Coach Aldridge is wanting me to play exactly what I am really doing now, playing a lot of wheel back, some nickel, like that star position too, being a very much a cover backer, being able to stop the run in the pass is my strong suit. So, and then blitzing off the edge. I've been coming off the edge a lot this year, and me and Coach Aldridge been talking about that, and I think you'll be seeing some more of that.
You talked, LJ, about the move from Charlotte Christian to Huff. You guys unbeaten, just advanced to the state title game. You'll take on Millbrook. So what's the season been like for you? and talk about the opportunity you guys have to win a state championship.
Yeah, I feel like this year we have dialed in on the word havoc. We are havoc. We create havoc. Huff is always violent on contact. So the one thing that we don't make sure we do is be violent at all times, and that's really what we've been doing all year. And many teams can't be violent for 4 full quarters. So it's always been 1-0 each week, and now it's got 48 minutes. Got 48 minutes to decide the rest of your life. I mean, literally, this is something that whenever you're 30, 40 years old, you're gonna look back and be like, I want to say championship my senior year of high school. That's how I went out, a champion. So it's like we're definitely riled up and excited to play in the state championship game, especially since this will be Huff's first time ever being in a state championship and their first time winning one too.
Hey, just judging by your comments, you're going to fit really well in this defense. You sound a lot like Coach Aldridge and Coach Harrell already, man. But how many times did you get a chance to make the visit? I know a bit of a drive to Greenville from the Charlotte area, but did you get a chance to take in any games this year? And how much have you enjoyed kind of following the Pirates on the field this season?
Yeah, so I feel like I probably came to the best game there was this year at home, the Memphis game. Very big time game, very highly anticipated game. A ranked Memphis team, and they couldn't compete with the Pirates. I mean, that's basically what it was. But the atmosphere was crazy. I mean, the student section was going crazy. The coaches, going crazy. The players, everybody just. You can tell that's what football's about. Right there. That was what football is about. Having fun on the field, but also playing hard and playing for your brothers.
Yeah, there were a ton of recruits at the game, LJ. I want to know, did anybody in the recruiting section take their shirt off and start doing the tarps off, swinging it around as well, like the students?
There probably was. I think there was. I had my shirt swinging.
It was hilarious, man. LJ Porter with us. Well, last thing for you, man. I think your plan is to enroll early in school after the state title game. What type of impact? What should Pirate fans know about LJ, his style of play before you get here?
I probably say I'm a very physical dude. Always looking to make sense. Very fast. I think I'm a lot faster with me. I'm in the play. Play for my team, be a leader, and develop early.
He is LJ Porter from Huff High School. LJ, we appreciate the time, man. Congrats on the big day. Enjoy it, and best of luck in the state title, man. We'll be watching you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That is LJ Porter, ECU 2026 commit. We got him listed as an athlete. He can play all over defense, does a lot on both sides of the ball for his school as well at the high school level. All right, we'll get a break in. We'll come back. We'll visit with our third signee, Josh Battle from Woodward Academy in Atlanta. We'll talk with him, offensive tackle prospect, about signing with the Pirates and more. This is Hoist the Colors Signing Day Special.
Hurry to Greenville Toyota for model year-end savings on a Camry. Just $229 a month. $229 a month. Or new RAV4, $279 a month. $279 a month. Only during our model year-end move-out. Right now at Greenville Toyota.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
It's Greenville Toyota's model year-end move-out. Save on a new Corolla, just $149 a month. $149 a month. Or new Tacoma, $249 a month. $249 a month. Now get a move-out.
Everything you need to know in the world of ECU athletics. This is Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. It is Hoist the Colors. It's our signing day special. Final segment here, and we talked to a few of the commits. We'll continue on with that. Another new signee of the Pirates is Josh Battle out of Woodward Academy in Atlanta, Georgia. Josh, welcome to the show, and how does it feel to officially put pen to paper and sign with the Pirates, man?
It feels great, officially be a Pirate. I've been thinking about this day for a little while, so it feels good to get everything done.
What do you and the family have planned as far as, a ceremony or just celebration? What are you guys going to do?
A ceremony about like 3:45 today at Woodward. I should be signing in front of everybody, so everything should be good. And then after that, I should probably I think I'm going to have like a little family time with my family, just go out and just have some fun.
Look, Josh Battle with us. I mean, you mentioned you think about this day for a long time. Like all the work that goes into it, obviously a lot of people involved, your coaches, your family. Like, is it, I don't know, is it kind of hard to sum up? Because I'm sure, especially as an offensive lineman, I feel like you've got to put in a lot of work to kind of get to this point. So is it hard to put into words kind of everybody that's helped you get to this point and everything that's manifested it?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a lot of work leading up to this point. I've been a lot of times, a lot of trial and error, a lot of hard times, but I just stuck through it and everything, had a lot of great times. I just appreciate everybody just being there for me. So I'm just appreciative and everything. So
Josh Battle with us, 3-star offensive tackle out of Woodward Academy in Atlanta. All right, so, you and I, we talked throughout the recruiting process about what led you to ECU, but recap that for the listeners right now, Josh. You had some other offers. I know you visited Georgia Southern, Western Kentucky, had other opportunities as well. What made East Carolina the right fit?
Yeah, like you said, I had about 19 other offers, including East Carolina. So my top 3 was East Carolina, Georgia Southern, and Western Kentucky. So when I went on my official visit, I was kind of new to the area, kind of new to Greenville, kind of new to the East Carolina community. When I got there, everything just kind of felt like family. It just felt like somewhere I could see myself in the next 3 to 4 years.
Did you get a chance? I know that was over the summer, your official. Did you get a chance to come back for a game this year by chance?
Yeah, I went to the Memphis game, so everything was pretty exciting. Everything was pretty loud. That was my first time at the ECU game, so I had high hopes, and for the most part, everything really exceeded my expectations. So.
Yeah, we were just talking to LJ Porter, fellow commit. He said that was the game he came to. So y'all picked a good one. I don't know, what was it like watching kind of the drama unfold and the fans get into it and all that on that day?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Maddox and I talked to Coach Baker pregame. They said it was going to be a pretty big one if they could stick it out. So just everybody being there. I think it was about me. I think it was me and about like 3 other commits there. We were all just having a fun time, just experiencing the game. So after they won, we all went to the locker room. We had a fun time. So I think it was probably the best game we could decide to come to.
No doubt. Y'all picked a good one. And what was it like, Josh, seeing the team have, a lot of success this season, 8-4? There was talks at one point about the college football playoff, before the UTSA game and that sort of stuff. So, how much did that kind of affirm your decision that, the Pirates are kind of heading the right direction as well?
Yeah, because I was kind of new to ECU. I didn't know what to expect after I committed. Just over the course of the season, just everything leading up to that Memphis game and, after that, I kind of just exceeded my expectations. And, as far as any other school I was talking to, ECU probably did the best. So I guess I made the right decision.
All right, Josh Battle from Woodward Academy in Atlanta. And all I hear about is how good Georgia high school football is, and you're obviously kind of in the heart of it. I know, Mike Wright's ECU quarterback, punter, whatever you want to call him these days, he was at Woodward back in the day. So just how good is the football out there?
When you think of football, a lot of people like to think of California, Texas, Florida, but all the dogs really in Georgia for real, and especially that Metro Atlanta area. We got so much talent coming out of there every year. Just some guys and then Caleb Downs, Travis Hunter, just some guys like that just all came out the Metro Atlanta area. So we always produce some big time talent. I think it's just something about Georgia that just has football. So without football, I really don't know. But Georgia football is really the epitome of what high school football should be.
I can't disagree, man. It's some high level football, and ECU's had a bunch of Georgia guys turn into really good football players. Josh Battle from Woodward Academy in Atlanta. What are some of the things that Coach Maddox, ECU staff has kind of told you they want to continue to see you grow at to potentially make an early impact with the Pirates?
Just definitely me getting bigger, because right now I'm at about 280. So they probably want me about 300 before the season starts. So just me getting bigger and faster and everything, just keeping my development going. But everything else, they really like my talent and just want me to keep getting better day by day. So when I get on campus in January, I have that shot of getting I have that shot to get some playing time early as a freshman.
Yeah, you're about a month away from being on campus, man. Is that kind of crazy? Kind of hard to believe as an early enrollee?
Yeah, I think right after the season ended, everything really kind of hit me. I didn't know what to expect at first, but now with everything coming up, everything just kind of sinking into reality. So, really excited, really looking forward to it. But most of all, I'm really just ready to go to ECU, just get to work, and just prove myself, and just grind, just keep my head down and work.
Last thing for you, Josh Battle. We were talking with, obviously, Preston Broadway, a fellow offensive line commit. You guys, there's 5 offensive line commits in this class, 4 from the high school ranks, including yourself. So what type of bond have y'all tried to create? I know y'all had the group chat. How much are y'all looking forward to, continuing to grow that once you all get on campus as well?
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to just growing that bond between everybody. I say probably the biggest thing with the old linemen, we got a group chat going on. We kind of just talk to everybody, just update everything. So we still be a pretty tight group by the time the season comes around and everything. I'm pretty sure we're always going to work to just keep each other accountable, just keep everybody moving forward, and just keep everybody doing 1% better every day. So I think that's probably our biggest thing. It's probably the biggest thing with the O-line assignees.
He is Josh Battle. Josh, we appreciate the time, man, from Woodward Academy, and congrats again to you and your family on the big day, man. Enjoy it, and we'll see you here in January.
Sure, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That's Josh Battle, new ECU signee, 3-star offensive tackle. So that'll do it for our guest today. Again, appreciate Josh Battle, LJ Porter, Preston Broadway. We'll bring in Philip Pilkington now from the 94.3 The Game studios, producing. Philip, were you this well spoken in your high school days? If I would have interviewed you as a prospective student athlete, could you have done these interviews?
I don't think so. I think I'd have been a little nervous. Maybe these guys, I don't know. Nowadays they've got some of these high school games on TV and some of this other stuff. Maybe these guys, it's not their first time because it didn't seem like their first time. I'm not going to lie. All three of them, when I called them, they seemed a little nervous, I think, at first. And then the second they got on, and I think all the nerves were gone. I mean, you could still tell it wasn't their, 400th interview, but definitely well-spoken young men, and looked like we got a good group. Now, obviously, it's about playing on the field, but I tell you, it's our jobs as media members, dude. It does make it easier when you can get some stuff out of these guys, and they were all good storytellers, so that's something.
That's the thing is, look, I enjoy covering recruiting because we really don't get a lot of player access once they get into the program, and that's not just ECU. That is college football as a whole. They try their best to protect some of these guys, but I think when you get to know them and you really get to know them as not only players but people, it's that much easier to interview them and get comfortable answers. So I enjoy the recruiting process, and it does make it kind of tough when we get to know them. They sign with ECU, and then they go 2-3 years before playing on the field. So it's almost like once we get to talk to them as ECU players, they're almost completely different guys. But that's one thing I do enjoy about the recruiting process, even though I know a lot of people with transfer portal, with NIL, haven't followed it as closely. A lot of these young men, I mean, they're really great people, and I enjoy getting to know them, whether they choose ECU or not. So I appreciate, again, Preston, LJ, and Josh Battle. I do have to say, LJ Porter, I don't like picking favorites, but LJ Porter, I don't know, man. He's just got the swag. I don't know if he's going to play as a freshman, Philip, but I know he believes he can play as a freshman, and nobody's going to tell him otherwise. So I'm ready to see that dude in purple and gold.
Well, he believes it, and our intern Isaiah believes it. So Isaiah called his coach right before we got LJ on. Is it Coach Baker? Yeah, Coach Baker. Yeah, he called Coach Baker from Huff and was saying LJ's about to come on, and Coach Baker said, "What? He's supposed to be in class, not talking on the phone." So LJ's in trouble with Coach Baker. The good thing is I don't think he can make him run too much this week because he's got to be fresh for the playoffs. So,
yeah, he's got a state title game coming up. And look, I did check with LJ, and I asked what time he was available. He gave me a couple times, and 12:30 we made it work, and we only kept him like 8 minutes.
Hey, maybe he was at lunch, I mean, they give you kids like 25 minutes for lunch. He only needs 15 to eat, and we kept him 8. He got 2 minutes to spare.
Yeah, he'll be fine, and we didn't keep him too long. All right, some more comments here, and look, I like this question because it is a reminder that although we're celebrating the 2026 class today, it's also a time and I'll probably do this on Hoist the Colors, which, by the way, we are still running a 50% off special. The previous class, it's a good time to look back at the previous class because oftentimes when the previous class comes in at redshirts, it's the year after or the year after that where they start to make an impact. Because it's just, look, man, college football is just a different animal. These guys, they need time to develop. You're playing against grown men. So Jones Bones wants to know, should we be excited for the 2025 class on offense between Chaston Ditta, Johnny Williams, Stephen Collier? And I do think the 25 class, part of the reason the 26 class was not as offensive heavy from a skill position standpoint is because of the 2025 class and some of the upside there. I think Chaston Ditta at this point, I'm not going to be ready to anoint him the guy after Caden Hauser for multiple reasons. He's got to go prove it. He's extremely young, all that good stuff. But I think from a standpoint of being excited about his future, ECU definitely is. We saw some very impressive things from him in the brief playing time he's got this season. I mentioned the tight ends earlier, like Cayman Reynolds and some of the guys, Caleb Morrow, Stephen Collier, like all those guys with the year of development. You just need time. Tight end is a tough position to play. You're trying to block defensive ends. You're trying to block linebackers. You're trying to learn how to catch the ball, understand scheme, understand defenses. It takes time. But I like all those prospects. And then offensively with the receiver position, Johnny Williams, another guy who needs some physical development, had a hamstring early in his time at ECU on the practice field. He's got speed. Havelock star. Havelock, again, really good program, but big jump from Havelock to D1 football. So I think with him having a year of development, he's a guy who could make an impact along with Connor Hodge, the brother of Cole Hodge, a receiver. And then honestly, defensively, man, Darion Horsley, Angelo Ross, we saw him get the pick in the FAU game. DJ Spear at safety, Kendrick Davis, Jordan David Miles at linebacker. I think this class, the defensive lineman, Don Moody, Josiah Dwyer, I think this class has a chance to be really good. Kendall Walton's an offensive lineman they feel good about developing. So I know we're talking about the 26 class today, but the 25 class, I think you'll see a lot of those guys make a leap next year. Last thing on the 26 class, one guy to note, Ethan Wilson from North Pitt has not announced a commitment yet. He is the cousin of Zion Wilson, uncle with CJ Wilson, obviously former ECU defensive star who played in the NFL. CJ did. He's scheduled to announce this evening. I am hearing most likely ECU. He does have some other offers, but good chance he joins the class this evening. He will probably be the final signee. So there's your 2026 class. Signing day special. We're out of time, Philip. I guess we'll save basketball for tomorrow, but ECU did get a win on the hardwood as well over UMass. So things are trending up everywhere, man. Signees, basketball W's.
Yeah, it's good. Jordan Riley's starting to look like a true number one scorer now over these last two games. So I think that was kind of our worry. We need somebody to slot in that number one role now that RJ's gone and Jordan is ready to be that. He's letting the game come to him. He's not chasing it. And, this is a good night.
Really good night for the Pirates as they finally get a win. They'll host UNCG this Saturday. All right, we'll get more into that tomorrow. We're out of time for today. We'll also talk to Kevin Monroe tomorrow about Marcus Monroe signing, as that'll be some fun to recap as well. Thanks again to Josh Battle, LJ Porter, Preston, and Broadway. Keep it locked. HoistTheColors.net will continue to have coverage of the signing class and more in the coming hours. Appreciate everybody listening. We'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, 12 noon. We'll talk to you then on HTC.